Hello everybody and welcome back. These first couple episodes, just to let you know, will have a lot of just showing grinding on camera, but that's just so you guys get a feel for it. We have our sword now on us, so now we can attack the Wompits and stuff. Our sword ended up actually being pretty decent. I think last time I ended up with a worse sword. So this one poisons enemies, which is going to be really good. Full analysis. Wompits stomp happy creatures that love sawgrass. So that means that since they love it, they'll attack you from now on. So now we have them in our thing. We'll talk about Wompits. We'll go to data. So the Wompit, it tells us his resistances. Now it shows you here what he can drop. However, this is what he'll do now for you if you give him a normal, powerful, and epic. We'll talk about that when that comes up. Because there are different varieties of every animal too, of varying degrees. We got a Wompit Sinew on that one. But here's where you start grinding on animals, not just the plants in the game. It's pretty easy to avoid these guys. So now they're telling me about abilities, which is now that I have my wrench done, I can shoot them and stun them. You can get weapons in the game that stun enemies too. So, which is actually a really, really good thing to get on it. Think of it like a Minecraft enchantment, kind of. He died of the poison damage. I didn't actually get to hit him. We just have a really amazing set of gear right now, which is why we're running through these guys. I can assure you that isn't always the case. Now, even though it recommends that we build this workstation, I suggest you grind for quite a bit longer, because you're gonna need this stuff. We also have Vampire Chance, which is lifesteal. That's quite handy to have on your weapons because it just means you don't have to pop any healing items that much. Because this is a game where healing items are going to become a necessity. You automatically pick up loot around you. Dying isn't bad in this game because you can easily die. I doubt we'll die for a while though, because I have previous knowledge of this game area. And these enemies aren't that tough in general anyways. Trust me, the enemies in this game become straight up annoying. Like, even if you outclass them by quite a bit, they can still do damage if you're not thinking about what you're doing. And there are some things in this game that will straight up one-shot you for quite a while. Oh, he did his double jump there. I didn't expect it and I almost got hit. The circles, if you're you want to get all the way out of the way, because this game is very generous to the enemies on where that circle lands. So you want to be nowhere close to it. I'm hoping that our lifesteal will just kick in and save me from this. As you can tell, these whistle root reeds are gonna already start to become a problem. Got a wooden chair that we can make. Still have not gotten that sawgrass special thing that I wanted to get. But you can already start to see that enemies, when you need 12 items from them, and they only drop 1, maybe 2 at a time, it's going to take quite a while. And at a point you'll actually get to the point he's telling us to farm right now. There is a storyline to this game, so I won't be negligent on that, but just on telling me how to play the game, I already know, and I'm just gonna relay in a better sense kinda to you guys how to play. Because I don't necessarily agree with all the tooltips in this game either. I feel like some of them are misrepresentative, so I will take poetic license on doing those. Now we don't know this because we haven't killed one of these guys yet, but they love this stuff, so watch out when you break the stuff. They'll come and attack you. Now he does a dash attack, so you want to be very careful. That attack does far more damage than you would imagine. These guys are quite hard to kill. They do gang up on you, and their attacks get faster as they get combos, kind of. You generally want to try to only fight one at a time, but the enemies in this game do tend to build up on each other quite a bit. And he gave us some other stuff that's going to become very necessary for us. We haven't seen any level 2 enemies yet, which I'm surprised kind of by, but it's honestly probably best that we don't see them. Like I said, these hitboxes are very generous to the enemy, so be very careful. Always give it the benefit of you're going to get hit, and just try to stay out of the way. Cannot stress that enough. Don't try to stand on the edge and think that you're doing things cool. It might work out for you a couple of times, but it's going to really hurt one time that it doesn't. Just give them their space to do what they want. Now this is a level 2, well, just a bigger level 1 version of a Wampet. It's called a Wampet Heifer. Now she will do quite a bit more damage, but she drops more loot too. And usually better loot. So you're going to want to find those. We got a Wampet egg. I did not expect to grab one of these so early. That's actually going to be really cool. Now this. You're going to want to find these all the time. Now we don't have the material to grab them yet, but it's good to have it marked on your map. Because those things are super rare and you're going to need tons of them. Like I said, anytime you see a resource that's new, or just one that you've already seen, you probably want to pick it up, because every resource in this game is going to be used for something. Just as a rule of thumb, just try to collect everything you can. It'll make the game so much more enjoyable and easier for you. Because I used to pass up wood and do that after I got the amount required. You always want to get at least double what you need, because you're going to need more. We got a Glorch, which we haven't killed any Glutterflies because they only come out at night, and we've only had one night so far. We found another telepad down there. You're going to want to find those as much as you can, because fast travel in this game is really good. And unlocking more positions is always going to be better than having fewer, obviously. Okay, if he's left us out of combat now, let's go to the map with E, look back to our base so we can build a tannery, I believe, or skinnery. Also, we need to build him a nest, which is done through this. The crafting times do get to be quite a bit longer. It's a nasty looking tannery, by the way. We do get a better weapon, better armor, which is, as you'll see, why I tend to grind so much. Because this game will show you really fast, you're going to want everything you can see. Skinnery creepy. It's essentially just a better version of this. You will need all your things with you all the time though. So we found our first story mission, which is go to Power Pole. This is going to be a rudimentary mission. It flags it up on your map, which you access with E, and you're just going to have to walk there. But first off, we're going to want to make this egg. The eggs are extremely good. I would almost say every time you want a better weapon rather than a better armor. Which in this case we can actually make both. That's going to dry our resources. These things are incredibly good too, but we'll get to that later. We got an acceptable one. It looks good. It has 21 more damage just straight up, and plus we had an acceptable one previously. We have an acceptable compared to our satisfying, but it's still an upgrade, so I would take it. And then, like I said, you do this, you destroy your previous thing because you definitely want materials back. Now you don't always want to just upgrade to the next tier. Like with our purple helmet, it's got to be good. It can't be an acceptable version of it, otherwise you're not going to make anything back on it. So obviously we got to kill a lot more Wompits. That's just part of the course in this game, is trying to collect materials and do that consistently. Now it is going to become night. I'm going to check after this video, or not after this video, after this recording session, whether I should brighten the game for your guys' viewing. But right now I'm going to assume it looks good enough. I'm going to let him try to jump at me just so I don't have to walk over to him, because I'd rather fight him alone and not get his friends involved. Ooh, he dropped 3 of that material. The random drops of this game can be infuriating, but they can also be pretty good. Now you can see we're doing quite a bit more damage to them, which is why you want to always pretty much build up better weapons and armor. Some people I'm sure would say that that's false and you should do it the other way. I always build better weapons and it seems to work out. We're just going to need a lot more Wompit death. And you go through this with pretty much every creature in the game as far as farming them for their whatever they drop for a while. I didn't put my Wompit egg down, did I? We're going to want to do that because it takes a couple of minutes for it to hatch. So, not that, obviously. You go to all tabs, you put down the Wompit egg. Pet time, just make it, name it right when it comes out. And when you click on it, it will tell you 5 minutes, and that is real-time minutes. So if you close the game and you open it in 5 minutes, it will be done. This game tracks real-time, not in-game time. Like, the game doesn't even have to be running for it to track real-time. So don't worry, all this loot will respawn by the next time we open the game. It's nothing big. I don't know if it respawns off screen, I assume it does. Or if it's just when you teleport, I don't know. You walk great distances in this game, but only forward. If you're going back, you use teleporters, or you should at least. It's a mechanic in the game you should have used as much as you can, because there's going to be a lot of traveling. Now, in order to learn the weaknesses and to put this material to use, I think we should kill one of these guys, if not more. And which he hit me because I am bad at dodging, so that's going to do poison damage to me, unfortunately. I'm essentially going to hope I can walk it off, though. We have found Boogie's Meadow. This isn't actually where we were going, and these areas are randomly spawning on the map, but this is another quest segment, so let's begin. Arnd says, "Hey, Uggy, look at this purpley flower walking around." Did you call me a flower? Uggy, it talks. What in Maria's name is it? We just crashed here. We're from off planet. It's one of them aliens, Uggy. Alright, purpley flower. Don't mind Arnd here. You got Wompit shakes. Arnd and I moved out here with the flowers on account of his traumas. Why out here? Baconweed keeps him all calm-like, but it keeps getting trampled on by them blasted Wompits. Would you coax 5 of them baconweeds into this little pot? I got a recipe, but I ain't leaving our inside. So he wants us to bring him 5 baconweeds in a pot, which is not hard. Let's gather baconweed around them, because that's something they don't tell you that you can kind of just abuse. Like I did say though, we do want to continue to grind constantly. Any material in our path then, therefore we want to take advantage of. We still have not found that sawgrass, which I found that upgrade actually right away when I was playing. Like it was within like the first 5 plants I broke. The Wompits will attack you for breaking this stuff because it's their material they guard. I'd say about half the mobs probably have a material that they guard. I did that double jump and almost got me. I'm telling you, that double jump will get you almost every time. Also, you could see there where it looked like I was out of it, but he hit me. That is, this game, like I said, you want to stay far away from any hitbox. because they are very generous to the AI. Very, very generous. You will get lucky a couple of the times that you thought you got hit too, but more than likely they're going to give the AI the benefit of the doubt. Now this is a level 1.5 I'd call it version. You can also see I was standing outside of that and he hit me. Yet another example that the AI in this game uses some things to its advantage. Luckily, since it is tick health, even though he was doing tick damage, we would heal up. Now these guys won't just disappear while they're on your screen. It has to be off screen, but they will not respawn off screen right now because it is morning. So if you were to leave the screen region and come right back, they would be gone. They would despawn. You can also eat this bacon weed. It's not as good as the pie, but it'll do. Now as you can see, this one has it's a bowl, which is, I'd call it pretty much the 2.0 version. He's got a lot more health. He has a much larger radius to try to escape from. He double jumps more frequently. Ow, and he does quite a bit more damage, as you can see. So this guy, you're just gonna have to whittle down, and you're gonna have to farm a lot of these guys. But he drops a lot of better loot, and more of it. Like, look at that. Drops so much stuff. There's our first actual level 2 enemy, which we don't actually want to engage because we don't have that good of. It's telling us about harvesting bombs, which we're gonna want to make a crap ton of. Which is also why you want to break this stuff, because it requires a lot of these. Which is why I tell you, even if you don't have a reason to do it, make sure you're always doing something as far as picking up items. If you don't pick up items, you're really, really going to regret it in this game. It is absolutely imperative that you do that. By the way, how are we looking as far as getting over to powerful? Okay, we passed it. Perfect. So let's take out, like I said, once again, as many Wompits as we can on our path. I'm pretty sure if he dies off camera, we'll still get the loot too. I don't know if I've ever done that. Okay, cool. Here's our next thing we're going to talk about. There's these random things around. Now you hit them, and this one's a time warp, which is probably the least useful. They have tons and tons and tons of different ones that do a range of things. Level 2 glide push right there, we don't want to mess with, by the way. We still, yeah, we're below it, so it's going to be on the upper end of this lake, I'll say, probably. The time warp already wore off, it was only for 10 seconds. Most abilities in this game will last quite a bit longer. And there's Power Pole. This is going to be our first hub for quest, kind of. Can you feel the power? No. Crystal calls to me. It's so shine. Who could go anything? Yes, yes. 3 batteries in a Crack-a-lacka. Shukadogo? Juicebox. He's talking about the jerk floaty head and also gibberish. Hey, that's a resonator I picked up with my scan. We need to get it out of here. I have a suspicion that it's Hugo's. I don't think he's going to approve. Flux, it's the only way we're going to build a column and get the packages delivered. Hey, Purpley, let's talk outside. Thanks for meeting with me. Vern's not right in the head. I worry about the crystal does more than just talk to. Be happy to get it off her hands. Miss Burl, by the way. And I'd be indebted to you for doing so, but I need you to know you ain't evil before I swear myself to help. Want a pinky swear? I mean, how do I know that you ain't evil? Maybe that box in Hugoduko in such a disguise. Nope. Hugoduko blew up our ship. Do we look like villains to you? Maybe. Don't look like it. That box of yours sure is dastardly looking. Hey, little juice box, I made him myself. Don't put a single dastardly component. Well then I suppose if you ain't evil, you prove it to me by doing a favor. A favor for the crystal? Sounds fair. Well, my old home is a good distance southwest of here, and it's been overrun by some nasty wompits. If you find it, clear it out for Durned and me, and I'll consider you in that box for folks worth of trustworthiness. Deal. So he wants us to go clear out of this area. I can't remember if that's a quest. Yeah, it puts it up on the map, just like the general area. What are you doing out here? Exhaled myself to the outdoors. I did done a cowardly thing and bless Mara's roots. I'm feeling the shame of it. Couldn't be that bad. Flux here once got all the way across the universe before realizing she forgot the shipment. Hey, you promised to keep that to yourself. If you're sharing shames with me, I suppose it's alright to say. See that shapely Tendraam on the other side of the power pole? By the way, these are Tendraam. Squints? Not sure shapely is the word I'd use. See? Kickfleet and I were having ourselves a picnic out there, and 3 big wompets came tearing into our meal. I just got up and ran. We didn't even grab Kickfleet or nothing. Saved my own skin only. Well, at least you didn't push him down so he could escape and while they were chewed on with his screaming body. I think the only thing that put me back on Kickfleet's graces is to have them beat 3 beasts taken out. I could do that for you. I'm getting pretty good at handling weapons. Could use that extra leather. Well, that's mighty kind. They roam somewhere out there. First one you'll have to take down is Grump. Come back and talk to me when it's done. So by the way, you want to take those quests because they'll usually have you killing animals. By the way, there's Kickfleet, which we want to take her quest pretty much immediately. Flowery stranger, don't suppose you could help a right fella out? I don't mean to be trouble, just that I lost my entanglement ring and I need it back. Something terrible. Entanglement ring. When Tendraam commit to one another, they ask Mara for a root ring, symbolic. About the joining of 2 lives and the roots of Maria. See the Tendraam, Ollie over yonder. We were lunching out, jumped by these 3 engaged wompets. Ollie ran faster than lightning. Should have seen him. Took more of a tumble when he came to. The ring was gone. Ollie, truly, rightly, trust me again till I get that ring back. Keep an eye out for it. Where'd you lose it? At your whistle root. Might have snagged come off. I'm pretty sure it's right around here every time you do this mission, by the way. It's somewhere in like this area. It's not hard to find. Also, that's going to be the end of our episode, though. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the series as much as I am. And goodbye.